Sunlight strikes Gregor and Kyrelos' eyes. They halt their slapping for a moment and are slowly extricated from the mass by their assistants. Come on, Gregor, come on up.
Thank you. Gregor remains glaring at Kyrelos the entire time.
Kyrelos is being pulled up by his own ally. Oh, right, I forgot to introduce you. This is Randy.
Randy, good to meet you.
Nice to meet
I
you
respect
too.
you, even though you're on the wrong side.
I mean, what really matters is that Randy is on the side of team get you out of this pile of skeletons. His moral encouragement was invaluable in your extrication process.
Yeah. Gregor looks around the battlefield and tries to spy any crossbow bolts lying around.
There are a lot.
Hey, Vern! You still in there? How are the skeletons going? Carry away the bolts. Does that sound like choking on bones to you?
Randy, Kyrelos, and Colvin all shrug, looking back at Gregor.
Why don't you two go help him out?
Okay, I'll just set you down right here. Okay, come on, Randy. The two travel over to Vern's bone bunker and begin punching and kicking it respectively. Get you out of there in one jiffy.
All right.
All right.
Gregor
Kyrelos dives backwards.
Gregor steps backwards, careful not to trip over what remains of the body.
The corpses around you are in far from the best shape. This crossbow bolt wreaks havoc on the human body.
Gregor reaches back and picks up one of the glaive copies. Now with room, Gregor assumes the stance of clarity and watches Kyrelos' every move.
You take note of Kyrelos' stance, the various vulnerabilities therein. You notice his cheeks are puffy, inflated with slap damage. He reaches down, testing the weight of one of his crossbow bolts. He pulls it out of the ground and reinserts it into his crossbow, a large chunk of dirt still attached to the end.
I take a close look, determining the exploditude of said bolt.
This is mercifully just one of his normal metallic crossbow bolts.
Gregor's sight and reflexes enhanced. He stands perfectly still, waiting for Kyrelos to make his move.
Kyrelos releases a single breath, eyes closing slightly. Everything grows still on the battlefield, your enhanced senses picking up distant noises. Thump, 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 stomp, stomp. Are you going to get me out of here anytime soon? He hears a distant animal crashing through the brush. Truly, there is a tranquility amidst all this violence. Kyrelos remains otherwise motionless. And then, at lightning speed, he swings the crossbow up and takes aim at Gregor.
Gregor is unfazed.
You watch as if in slow motion as his finger tenses, individual tendons pulling his trigger finger back, bracing against the legendary crossbow Doctor shoots. With a thwink, the crossbow bolt is released, fired dead set for the center of your forehead.
With the clarity gained from his stance, Gregor does a quick roll to the side. The problem with a crossbow is you always know where the attack is coming from.
I'd argue that's a limitation of most weaponry, he says as the bolt flies through the air.
Try and guess this, then. Light dances off Gregor's ethereal glaive as he begins spinning it wildly. He charges forward while his enemy is unarmed and swings from below.
Gregor spins his glaive, much like a tornado would do. The crossbow bolt midair hits the side of Gregor's glaive, his expert roll positioning himself to perfectly deflect the bolt into the distance. It whizzes over Bone Bunker Alpha, over the scattered corpses, landing between Randy and Colvin. Screams are heard in the distance. Ah!
Gregor's imitation glaive shatters, but he continues running forward, grappling on to Dr. Shoots.
Hey, you let go of that!
Gregor is firmly attached.
The distant screaming continues. Ah! Chaos has returned to the battlefield once again. Kyrelos and Gregor mutually tug on the crossbow. Let her go!
Gregor wraps his arms and legs around the crossbow.
Hey, you stop that!
Can't shoot like this!
There's this, the crashing on the battlefield resumes, growing more intense. The wild animal bursts from the tree line behind you. And a very familiar figure, for way too many times this day, rolls out of the trees covered in sticks and other crap. Oh my god, what the fuck is happening? You'd recognize that wild animal's call anywhere. It's no Honorian fight deer, that's the middle manager.
Without turning around, Gregor addresses Thog. Thog, this guy bad! Get ready to shoot!
Thog takes one uneasy step forward around one of the bodies. pulls out his gun and takes aim at the strange situation unfolding in front of him. Let go! Come on, get off!
Do you know what a gun is, Kyrelos?
Well, yeah.
Well, he's got a gun.
I've got a crossbow.
No, we've got a crossbow. Gregor tightens his grip. Thog, I trust your aim. On my signal.
Thog takes aim, pointing his gun at Kyrelos. Individual beads of sweat form on his brow. His eye twitches. This was clearly not the situation he expected to walk into when Markus told him to go back and, quote, manage the conga line for him. Blood, detritus, and burned turf surround him on all sides, and he's just been tasked with shooting someone while not hitting his friend who is clinging to his oversized weapon. This has not been Thog's greatest day.
All right, Thog. On 3.
Okay.
1. Gregor stares Kyrelos dead in the eyes,
Gregor,
gently spooning his crossbow.
You know, Gregor, legally you're not allowed to sue me if this goes wrong, right?
It's okay, Thog. I know you have perfect aim. You've never missed a shot. 2.
The single droplet of sweat turns into a full-on waterfall.
He's so humble. He's hit every shot right in the head all the time. So long, Kyrelos.
Surprisingly enough, your bluff may be getting to Kyrelos. He looks over at Thog. He looks back down at Gregor. Oh my god, he's got the deadest eyes I've ever seen!
Yeah, that's my buddy, Deadeye Fish Thog.
Wait, what was that last part?
May your aim be true, as always. 1.
Losing his nerve at the last second, Kyrelos lets go of the crossbow, letting it clatter to the ground below him. He dives to the side, expecting the shot.
Thanks, Thog. Gregor hefts Dr. Shoots onto his shoulders and begins to trot away.
Wait, what? The sudden relief of Gregor's tone shift acted as a placeholder go for Thog. The man discharges his gun, firing it over Gregor dramatically.
Thog, I didn't mean to get your confidence up. Gregor pats himself down before hefting Dr. Shoots up on his shoulders.
What? Thug says, looking down at the evolving situation.
As quickly as he can, Gregor trots over to his allies.
Give that back! Kyrelos runs after Gregor!
Colvin, I need you to send a message. Far away!
You give that back to me now, Kyrelos says, running around the corpses
Colvin,
as well.
I need you to stop what you're doing and do something else.
But he's almost out. Yes, I'm almost out.
I can help you get him out in a second if you just...
Give me that back,
just help me out.
You've got fingerprints all over. Oh my god.
See, I need you to send a message back to the 9 shrines. Can you do that?
The what?
Oh, crap. I need you to send a message back to Space Camp.
Space camp? What?
The remnants, whatever.
Okay, what do you want the message to say?
Sweat is forming on Gregor's brow as the enormous magical Dr. Shoots crossbow
I'm tired.
weighs down.
Thug just watches as Kyrelos and Gregor both pass him by, still looking dumbfounded.
Can you send a message to that old wizard tower? You remember where we met?
I mean, yeah, what do you want me to say?
Not say anything. This is the message. Gregor wrenches his entire body to lob the crossbow towards Colvin.
Kyrelos diving tackles Gregor to the ground. Colvin stares down at both of them.
Just send the crossbow away.
Meanwhile, Ashe, Inien, and Markus were surrounded by quite the predicament.
I didn't mean to kill them!
Ashe!
I meant to get out of the splash radius. Let's not dwell on it.
Ashe, what do you not understand about non-lethal means?
Look, I went non-lethal! They just fell into each other's weapons, literally!
Oh, shit, would you look at that? Guys, we have some company.
I know!
Ringed on all sides, the Cold Clan guards have come, rushing to the screams.
There isn't any chance you'd all like to fall on your weapons either, is there?
Any chance you're seeking gainful employment?
Ashe is suddenly struck in the back by a club.
Okay. I whirl around and, sighting over Ashe's shoulder, I let loose an I-beam, aiming for the man's weapon arm.
You strike the man's weapon arm, lancing it straight through. You're pretty sure you cut through bone at some point. The club clatters to the ground.
Go home. Stop fighting in the war.
Why do I get the feeling that this fucking happened before?
It's gonna happen to the rest of you, too. Also, all of your grandmas are very, very sick. You should go home and see them right away.
One of the guards rushes forward, swinging a fist at Inien. Inien, expecting the same ease with which she'd been dodging the ban to this point, quickly ducks under the fist. A knee is swiftly brought up into her stomach.
Idiot, close in! I dive over this dead body and, much to my own dismay, use the gore as a slip and slide to close the distance between myself and Inien.
Unsteady on her feet, Inien takes a single step backwards, closing up with Ashe and Markus.
Noticing Ashe and Inien's movements, I'm going to step forward for the assist, manifest a pair of shadow manacles, and attempt to clap them over the man's wrists.
Markus, after a long day of physical exertion, your muscles spasm, your pinky twitching out of control. The spell alters itself. You find yourself manacled to the man. Look out, Markus, he's a fucking fist puncher. He decks you in the face. You're connected. You rebound. He decks you in the face again.
No. I can do nothing. I'm just getting pummeled back and forth. I'm out of my element.
Why do I get the feeling that these guys are so much fucking stronger than what we're used to dealing with?
I don't know.
Give me a hand, please. I think he broke my nose.
Inien, back me up. I plant a foot, staring straight at the guard, letting him know I'm about to dive at him. And then, at the last second, I dive at Markus, using their attached nature to topple the guard.
Oh, I think he pulled my shoulder out of its socket.
The three of you collapse in a pile on the ground.
Inien!
What?
Back up!
How? You're all...
Fine! I just start pummeling the guard.
She extends one pained arm and creates a line of grease directly in front of herself, stretching into the distance.
What the fuck is that gonna do?
You and your intertwined nature, along with the guard and Markus, roll forwards, connecting with another set of guards.
Oh no. Getting some idea of what Inien's going for here, I am going to let loose several strands of sticky shadow to attempt to bind us all together.
Inien takes a look behind her, sees the guards closing in, and throws herself face first on the line, stretching out of what is now building itself as a shadow boulder. The boulder speeds into the distance.
Oh my god.
Markus, as your embedded form crests above the Gold Clan guardy horizon, you see a familiar figure.
As I rise to the apex of the shadow boulder, I release myself from its sticky embrace and feverishly kringle across the top of it, running in place.
You recognize the person in front of you at the very end of this strip of grease.
Morin?
Look
out!
He looks shocked as you fly straight at him. He dives out of the way. You speed past.
Morin! Is that Morin?
I reach my hand out for him. Join us!
I don't want to. He says as you fly past.
Okay, that's fair.
With one hand wrapped tightly around the neck of a Gold Clan guard, I reach out with the other and try to grab Morin's shirt.
You missed the shirt but managed to grab onto his pant leg. He's quickly pulled over and sucked into the ball. You all impact a tree and fall apart.
Ow.
Markus manages to cling on to one of the branches up high.
Oh, sorry, Morin. I was just kind of grabbing for everything.
The guards scatter on the ground below you. Markus, you have a vantage point from well above them.
Noticing my newest sworn rifle on the ground beneath me, I release the tree branch and come down on him with the Demon's Hellbow, my brand new wrestling move.
Seeing your action and developing a spell specifically to aid in your wrestling moves as you continue to break them out, Inien extends both of her hands and your weight dramatically increases.
I aim straight for his solar plexus.
Seeing what Markus is going for, I scramble around, grabbing the guard's ankles, yanking him so that he loses his balance.
You can't escape now!
You slam down with your now fairly considerable weight directly on top of the guard. You feel the air leave his chest as bone forces his lungs to compress.
Ooh.
That's why you never harm my face, asshole.
You, the guard, and the rest of it impact the ground, sending a shower of flower petals airborne.
I popped my shoulder back into place. That's my thing. I dismiss my flower petals illusion.
Using the now hellbowed guard as a stepping stone, I plant my foot in his face and leap to the far guard. I drive my fist into his visor several times in quick succession, hoping to leave the man unconscious.
You repeatedly deck the man in the face again and again. He begins to punch you back.
I take the full force of his attack, launching my own in return.
Ashe's conflict quickly collapses into a hitting match. Inien looks at the remaining guard, sees that he and everyone around him are mostly covered in grease. Hold on a second. She reaches into her pocket, pulls out a match, strikes it, and throws it on him.
No. I grab the match in midair and toss it into my mouth. Non-lethal. That's about as far from non-lethal as you can get.
Marcus, look at how much trouble Ashe is having right now. We don't have time for non-lethal.
Just stay down!
Okay, Ashe, she's unconscious.
Sorry, you're just putting up a real big fight.
Inien, can we just avoid the immolation if at all possible, please? I raise my hands into the air, moving them in a dough-pulling motion and amass a ball of sticky shadow. Bending down, I wind it around the remaining soldier, cocooning him in a ball of sticky black shadow.
Inien sighs, runs forward, grabs the ball of shadow, sets it back on the grease path, and kicks it along once again.
See, now that I'm okay with.
He's probably gonna suffocate in there, Marcus.
I'm keeping an eye on Inien in case she gets another match to try to light the grease trail on fire.
There's one in her hand.
I snatch it out of her grasp.
You quickly grab the match out of Inien's hand. What? I was trying to make it harder for them to follow us. It's a very rational, reasonable thing to do.
I struggle upwards, wiping the blood from my nose. Yeah, but we have to go in that direction, Inien. Don't set the entire forest on fire.
Why do we have to go in that direction, Ashe? Why can't we go in this direction? She says,
Because that
pointing.
direction is the fort! That direction is not the fort!
This
How
direction
many
is totally
fucking
the
times
fort.
have we been over this, Inien?
Ashe, I know what I'm doing.
No, you don't!
That's
you
good enough
two
for
are
me.
the ones! You
I
two are
start
the ones
following
that took the
Inien.
stupid-ass shortcut that got you here in the first place!
Come on, Ashe, Morin, we don't have any time. I grab Morin's hand and jerk him along.
Morin, do you still have a gun? I start patting Morin down.
No, I don't. I left it behind. I didn't want to get involved in the war. I'm here as an observer. What's...
Damn it!
As we continue fleeing northward, I'm going to throw out a salvo of eldritch blasts as suppressing fire.
Ashe, did Thog find you?
Yeah, we've been together for a bit now.
Where
He
is
just
he?
left. He
You
just
guys
left.
are together now?
You sent
What?
away your strongest fighter in the middle of this? Morin
What?
looks exasperated.
Strongest fighter?
Oh, that's adorable. He thinks Dan's strong. He thinks Dan the Wizard Man's strong.
Look, Thog's
he's
real
strong,
strong,
but he's a
Morin.
pretty shitty wizard.
Thog is really strong, but he's more of a strategist than anything. We can talk about this later. Right now, we need to get out of this.
Okay, everyone close your eyes real fast.
Okay?
Sparkle Bomb! Marcus raises one hand, unleashing a blast of sparkles in all directions and a garish neon pink light.
The three guards in front of you fall to the sides, allowing you passage.
I sprint forward, eyes still closed, step on this guard, and keep running.
Open your eyes. There's more. Ashe, this one's you.
What?
Inien, this one's you.
Okay, well, we definitely just continue in this direction, I'm pretty damn sure.
Sprinting at full tilt, my next step brings me closer to the earth as I ready a leap, my hand reaching back towards my dagger.
Suddenly, both Marcus and Inien feel a tingle at their collective noses.
I spawn a shadow umbrella.
The impulse of magic suddenly setting your senses alight.
Hold on, that's a different sort of tingle than I expected. I thought this was a splash zone tingle.
With no small amount of flare open Ashe, Rowan Ignimaxis enters the battlefield, teleportation magic rippling around him. He and a small contingent of wizards touch down on the Bandlands, throwing their wicked magics on the surrounding guards.
Max! Good to see ya!
What? You?
Immediately in front of you, in a line, the Gold Clan guards fall to the side, struck by various cursing magics.
How did you get out of the box?
Ashe, it's a box. How long could he have been in there for?
Roughly 2.5 hours, not that I was counting.
Well, thanks for the save. Sorry for putting you in a box, but you were kind of being an asshole.
I'm not that sorry about it. Thanks for joining our side. Your help's much appreciated.
I'm not sorry at all. Now, hold off these
Because
guys.
you're both bad people.
Yeah, now hold off these guys while we make our timely escape.
Yep, gotta swallow the head of the snake and all that jazz.
I abolished the snake.
No. This is the larger snake. This is
Abolished!
That's the smaller snake. That was the backup
Guys,
snake, okay?
what
The larger snake.
What type of snake it is doesn't matter. What matters right now is there are sacrifices so we can get away.
All right, well, hurry up and crinkle out of here.
No! It's like you're not listening.
The group takes off. A little off-put by the current situation, Max takes a look around at the bearing down guards, who seem to be equally confused by the presence of him and his coven of dusk companions. Normally, I'd offer to settle this peacefully, but you are Anorians and I am Karavian. Between each of his fingers, he holds a beaker. There's only one way that this can go. Splash! Magic hits the battlefield around him. In an instant categorized by Kyr as one Kyrelos, the inventor touched down in the middle of the fort. All eyes were on him, all eyebrows raised. Hey man, you look like you're in bad shape, Kyr says, turning around and looking down at Zeke. He stops himself just before putting his hand on the man. Are we enemies? Zeke stares up at Kyr, bewildered. Enemy or ally, does it truly matter on the battlefield, Zeke says. Even in his current beaten down state, he manages to release a handful of flower petals. It's clear he simply picked them up off the ground, supplied by the nearby nice tree. My liver would say it matters a lot, says Ballast McGee from the ground. He reaches to his back, pulling something free, wrapped in a Kevlar substance. With a great kerchunk, he lowers it, the questionably cloth-like material caught by the wind. Both Ban and Lily Clan alike crane their heads to look at the object. It's big, sword-like in shape, and possesses many features that, don't belong on a blade of any variety. With no small amount of gusto, Kyr plants one of his legs, raises his knee, and strikes a pose with it. Okay, Kyr to the rescue. Time to protect the Lily Clan. He motions to the guard and island in front of him. Get behind me, I got this covered. Ballast McGee tries to crawl his way forward. Kyr sees the pathetic effort and kind of extends a hand, brow knitting. Markus would probably want you to stay there. And most importantly, Kyr whirls on his heel, staring down at Zeke. You got anything to, feed my sword? Zeke just stares at Kyr. Dumb question, of course. Kyr turns around, facing down Jin and the band again. I'm the only one with food fine enough for this baby. The Kyr brand Loudners on the back of his sword flare to life as one of the band takes a step forward. With an energetic grin, he places the sword along his back, bracing it against his shoulders. Grabbing the very, very end of its elongated hilt with one hand, balancing it with the other, he swings at a speed that should be impossible for such a big object. Even though this object is clearly metal, it bends slightly from the force, swinging at the man. Comically, it hits him in the side and sends him slapping into the distance. Kyr looks down at the sword, actually a little bewildered at its strength. I didn't expect it to bend that much. Zeke stares up at him. Please, all good swords bend. Everyone knows that. This whole sword-making thing's new to me, man. Two powerful band bear down on him. Unless mechanically enabled, Kyr never was particularly the fastest person around. One band takes a step forward, jutting a spear directly in his face. He quickly dodges to the side, it catching his cheek dramatically. What he does a significantly worse job at dodging
It's the switchblade.
is the switchblade that comes from a place a little too close to home. Reappearing under the cloak of the Sword Island is the Batmass Band, who drives the switchblade into Kyr's side. She got your liver too, hey? Says Ballast McGee from the ground, pouring himself a whiskey. Stumbling backwards next to Zeke on the ground, Kyr grips his side, seeing blood.
Man, Roland, things are looking real bad in there.
Of course I can see that things are looking pretty bad in there. Have you forgotten about my walleye tactical style? Roland says, pointed in exactly the opposite direction, beads of sweat working their way down his brow.
Come on. We're exiled, but maybe this is our chance, you know?
Our chance to do what? Help the screaming, jumping guy die a little bit faster. He clearly doesn't stand a chance in there.
But maybe with us.
One of the guards hits the speaking one in the back of the head.
Oh, that hurt.
Roland turns around and grips his chin. Perhaps you're right. He points forward at the battle that's unfolding just out of their eye shot. My walleye tactical style will determine the exact moment that we strike. Or flee, whichever one seems better for the moment for our futures.
But man, okay, man.
Island turns and swings her blade straight down at the bat-masked band. However, she manages to nimbly dodge out of the way. A few feet away from her, the two stand squared. I assume you're working with Markus and his sparkle line of glory, or whatever he called it. It's not that I don't appreciate the assist. Really, I do. But at the same time, you have no reason to help us. What are you talking about? Kyr continues to brace his side. You guys were clearly getting beaten up. Oh, man. I'm sure not you, I'm sure not Markus, and I'm sure, not the overall destiny of this country would stand to see you defeated here, Mr. Zeke. He once again points the sword out in front of him. For now, I got your back. Directly next to his line of sight, something stares Zeke with non-eyes. The Technomaw flares open and shut. Reaching into his cloak, Kyr pulls out something. Something dangerous. Something mysterious. It's a hairbrush. Zeke simply stares at it. Oh, I see you and my sword are meeting each other. That's great. Zeke stares. What is it? Oh, this is something a little bit of something that Markus and Inien helped me whip up. He suddenly gets a very serious look on his face. I think it's illegal. Don't tell anyone. Holding the hairbrush up above the maw, he states, you see, every single Kyr brand item is built with the same fundamental, exploding roiling core. This baby is built to take advantage of it. He drops the brush into the mouth. It begins to chew it, grinding it to dust, forcing it downwards. The Loudners spark with life, jettisoning fire backwards, burning the gate slightly. It's time for you guys to see what the strongest human's strongest sword can do. He points it at the band, their animal instincts instantly telling them that something dangerous is coming. The strongest of them move, quick to intercept him before the slash can reach Jin. However, Kyr doesn't swing the sword. He simply keeps it extended, pointed into the mass of them. Flare blade, lunge! Kyr punches the side of the sword, and with an ungraceful clicking sound, something's discharged from the end of it. A certain questionable area of the sword is revealed to, in fact, be a long tube. A piece of shrapnel, not unlike an Anorian tackle ball, flies screeching over the heads of the band, landing immediately in front of Jin. He has but one moment, one blissful, shocked moment where his placid expression shifts to shield himself in a brilliant wall of light. There's a scream and an explosion. More force than fire, the band are scattered into the distance.
Hey man, he's doing pretty good in there.
Now's exactly the time. Charge! The guards rush in through the guard holes. I didn't know you were a master of the screeching dragon style. What sits in the distance is a crater. Jin's wall of light, a hastily created tree, flickers out of existence, its form not entirely created before the attack struck. He stares at Kyr with a dark expression. Taking the moment of confusion as both the Batmask Man and the Crowbass Man turn around to see their devastated team, Zeke swings his sword in one strike, cutting both of them directly across the backs. With one leg, he kicks over the Batmask Man, and the crow falls to his side. That's a fucking good shot. I mean, what the hell was that? Okay, yeah, no, let's not get that wasn't that cool. Let's not get bow rippery here. Kyr says, that's the strongest and most secret weapon of the Markus Valafi's Congo Line for Peace. You got the name wrong earlier. I feel like I should correct you on that. Here's the sticker. Kyr sticks the sticker on Zeke's front. And I'll have you know that this weapon was designed with the express purposes of spreading as much chaos as possible and protecting my friends. Though I haven't revealed that function yet. Kyr puts up a finger. Zeke simply continues staring at him. Now that you know why I'm here and why he's here. Hey, Roland. Hello, yes, I was supporting you the entire time. Did you not see the arrow support me and my guards were lending to you and yours? Kyr looks around. Okay, that's not it. I don't care. He stares back at Zeke. But now that you know why we're here, why are you guys here and fighting here?
I don't know, man.
Oh shit, Quumpus, is that you, man?
Yeah, man.
Dude, it's been like 2 hours. He high-fives Quumpus, the guard. Zeke once again sheathes his katana, staring at Jin. I am here to save this country, once and for all. He glares daggers at Jin. Jin stares back. A single flame licking its way along his arm. And I as well. Kyr stares from one to the other. You gonna explain any of that? Neither of you guys? Really? Okay, this is... Kier puts his hands on his head, taking an arm away from his bleeding wound. This is what got you... Oh, you need to talk to each other. He grabs Zeke by the shoulders. It'd probably be fine if you just talk to each other. You said your job was to cause chaos here. Does that not make you my enemy? Kier's face, full of both concern and frustration, suddenly drops to a big doofusy smile. Oh man, of course not. I mean, don't flatter yourself. Zeke's mouth opens slightly. The Marcus Velaffi's conga lines for peace's enemy isn't a particular person. It isn't even like a side or like a... how do I put this? Kier scratches his chin. Our enemy is honorant itself. like systemically. We don't like it. Like conceptually, like this whole thing, we don't like it. Hold on, that's a little bit racist, Roland says from behind.
Yeah, man, that cuts deep.
Jin's brow froze again, energy crackling around his fingertips. However, Zeke's agape stare shifts to the slightest hint of a smile. I believe we have a similar goal then. He turns his back, facing down Jin, entrusting it to both Kier and Roland. Protect me if you can, Agent of Chaos. Let's destroy this country together. He points his sword at Jin. Kier kind of runs his hand through his hair. That's a little intense, but I'm liking the vibe, so... He as well points his sword at Jin.
Hello there, gullible potential book customer. Markus Velaffi here to say that if you have a taste for adventure, you should consider sating it with High Tides, Higher Tempers, the first in my series of fantabulous nautical adventure novels. Come on, read about the secret, incredibly dramatic lives of sailors. I can guarantee that you won't be disappointed, and that I won't give you your money back.